Welcome to the Black Men Think podcast. If this is your first time here, know that the views and opinions expressed by the Black Men Think podcast are those of the Black Men Think podcast and not the individual members. With that being said, we're about to be unapologetically, undeniably black. Enjoy.
So look, man, it's been an interesting couple of weeks, bro. Interesting couple of weeks. So I just want to have like a real conversation with y'all because it's information that I'm lacking that I just need help with. So I just got one question: how do you buy a house, bro? Like for real?
You just go buy it, man. You go for your to your bank. You go to your bank and tell them, "Hey, this is what I need," and bam, you just buy it. Now, I wish it was that simple. I mean, it's that simple for some people, but
People.
it's it's just the process, man. It's going having that experience recently. It's like you learn a lot, you soak in a lot, you come out feeling like, man, I can be a real estate agent. But I mean, it's a lot more work than looking from the outside in. But I mean, my advice would be to, of course, lean on people, the knowledge from people that that done it before.
Right.
Of course, anybody in the real estate business, they're gonna tell you the ins and outs. But at the end of the day, everybody's experience can be different. For example, like I was told to, not necessarily. Well, I'm not gonna say not necessarily. I was kind of told to stay away from banks as far as like trying to get a loan or whatever because of just bank, big business, this, that, the other. Try to go through like a lender or a smaller lender or something like that. And fortunately, I had a relationship with a bank, and so I decided to take that route to give them a chance, and it worked out. It worked out pretty good for me as far as interest rate and everything. Of course, you got to have your credit score, make sure that in line. One of the things that helped me out was that I had everything in order as far as, or not saying, well, in order, and also I had stuff available. Like I had all the necessary documents available. So whenever the mortgage, go ahead.
Like so when you say you had everything available, like what's everything? What do you mean?
Like whenever the mortgage advisor needed stuff like I need pay stubs, I need your bank statements, I need your retirement account funds, anything that was related to the application process. Gotcha. I had that, or I could readily get it. Okay. And speaking with her, she kind of told me how that made things easier on her end too, because as she requested those things, she can get them over, get them into her file so it can move the process along. Because if you're the type of person that delay on, getting access to different documents, then that's gonna just hold things up, and gotcha. You don't want to have that issue. So I mean that definitely is having all the documents ahead, or having access to those things. It's always helpful. But I would say always another thing too is shop around for rates. That's something you don't want to just limit yourself to one. I mean, if you hit it, hit it the first time with a great interest rate, and that's one of the lowest in the market as far as your research online or whatever, then hey, run with it. But if you feel like, hey, I probably can get something a little lower, then always check around.
How many places did you look at in terms looking for rates?
I looked at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Because what you'll find is, and depending on the type of you're buying or whatever property you're buying, let's say if it's new construction, you may have, and I'm not sure about, well, that probably wouldn't apply to something that's you're buying from somebody else. But let's say if it's new construction, certain probably all of them, I'm thinking, probably have their own lenders. Okay. They have their not own lenders. They have their preferred lenders.
Preferred lenders, yeah.
And so they can give you, they have whatever promotion they have going on at that time. And so a lot of times, builders like for you to use their preferred lenders because they know how the process will go with their preferred lender as far as closing and this, that, and the other. Compared to using somebody else outside, I mean, there always can be delays and getting things done so that you can close on time. So it just you have to just basically just you just do your homework. Ask all the questions. With my mortgage advisor, she was so helpful, and I felt like I'm sorry to keep asking you this, that, no, but even it's like, hey, you told me this, but I don't quite understand it. And hopefully, if you have a good mortgage advisor, I mean, of course, they're going to take the time to, hey, this is how things work, or this is what I meant when I said such and such. But yeah, ask all the questions, man, because I mean, it is a major purchase. So just do your research and hey, just go at it.
Did you use a realtor, Corey?
Yeah, I did. I used a real estate agent. Yeah, that was helpful too. My agent was, on point. Communicated things. When I had questioned, the availability was there. So it's good to build that rapport with your real estate agent. Be clear on what you're looking for. If you could set a price point, but of course, with this market, how things can be. So just know that, hey, even though I have this is my target amount, I may have to go, if I find it at my target amount below that, good. But, if it's something that I really like, then, that if I got to pay a little bit more for it, then fine, because the market is crazy. It's just speaking with my real estate agent and other real estate agents. It's just that how like they're saying like it's how it's been crazy maybe the last year or so. How places are getting like crazy amount of offers. People doing cash offers. They're paying over the appraised amount, and it's just
it's a seller's market, right?
Right. And I don't know how it's died down lately. I mean, of course, once I'm out of it, I'm not really looking into it, but I'm sure it's probably still crazy out here. But
there's not a lot of inventory right now.
You said what now?
There's not a lot of inventory right now. Just in general.
Right. And one thing I didn't realize until somebody brought it to my attention was that the market is crazy everywhere. And it's like, if you got property in California, New York, DC area, DMV, whatever, and you can sell your property and make pretty good off of it, you can move down south, and that's how you're able to have cash offers on places because you're paying way more than where you're coming from than you're paying from here. And you have making cash offer, and so you're basically eliminating people that are trying to get loans. Because I mean, if I'm a seller and somebody got a cash offer, I don't know, I'm probably going to be like, and they're willing to pay over my asking price. That's kind of that's kind of hard to turn down. But I mean, it's a war out there.
Yeah, man.
That's a little inside joke.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Shout out to Coach Lefty Brazil, man. But yeah, man, it's we have a unique opportunity for us in the Goodwin household, and so we're just trying to gather information, man, and see, like, for us, we rent the house that we're living in now. We got the opportunity to maybe purchase this house, so we're just trying to figure it out now, man, and we're thankful that we got partners and friends who already went through this process, because like my wife and I, we were talking earlier today, like, man, this stuff ain't taught, bro. Like we're not doing enough talking in our community about it. And it was just so crazy for us to like, man, we've learned so much over the last couple of months. It's like looking at, shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Like we've been watching a lot of Earn Your Leisure videos and different people they have coming on and just talking about finances and all of that. And thankfully for us, we've been on the financial like freedom journey for a while. And so we, debt free, and we both have, good credit. And but we haven't went through the process of trying to purchase a home. And you find out very quickly that like some of that stuff don't even matter for real, especially in the time that we in right now, because like Corey just said, you have legit people offering cash money for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like these people are retiring and coming to Atlanta to live, and like they come in here with $2 million because they just sold their house in Cali and they got money to spend. So we don't we don't know what it's gonna look like, but we're going through the process now, and so I'm glad I got y'all here that we can kind of discuss it. I know Mo, you went through this. It's been over a year now, right? Has it been over
No,
a
no,
year?
no, no. It's only been 7 months.
7 months.
7
Okay,
months
so
now. Yeah.
coming up on over a half a year. So what was the process like for y'all? Because I know y'all have a unique situation as well. So
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. For me, this was brand new. Like,
mhm.
never had scratched the surface of trying to purchase a home, let alone understand the process behind it. Like, my wife had already gone through that. Even as all of us were just kind of fresh out of college, she just kind
Right.
of took that step early before we were ever even dating or anything of that nature. And so she had already kind of walked through that process and learned a lot of the tricks of the trade. And when we got married, we stayed in the same home that she had originally purchased.
Right.
So this is our first home that we just purchased together. So for her, it was a refresher. But for me, man, this is a brand new world. And I think for us, it was starting with some of the practical things. We, obviously have kids. So schools, was a major factor in terms of making a decision about where we want to live.
Mhm.
And don't get me wrong, man, the eyes were open very quickly
Right.
about location. Location matters. Like like you hear location, bro. It's not a game. Where the same home in 4 or 5 different school zones has 4 or 5 different prices.
Mm.
No matter what the floor plan is, what the builder is, it all, like, that school zone matters, because at the end of the day, and I'm saying as practical as it can be, if you're in the hood, you can find you an affordable home with a whole bunch of space, and you're looking like, man, I got a mansion, I only spent 250K.
Yeah.
Well, that's that same home in a school zone. You think of school zone ratings, it's from 1 to 10, right? And so if you got a school that's in a 2 to 4 range, I mean, it's going to be a very affordable home because that's a low rated school zone.
Right. Right.
And what that means is a low performing school zone for those of you who either do or do not have kids. Whereas, if you go into some of the more affluent areas in Atlanta, or in any city really, and you see, school zones going like 7 through 10, those prices are shooting up because guess what? There's a certain audience of people that typically can afford to stay within good school zones, right? And those school zones are high performing. They've got a lot of resources in both the school and the community. Those things matter. What's around the home that you're looking for matters. So a lot of people think about what they want the home to be, right? What they want the inside and the outside of the home to look like. But really, you kind of have to have your brain wrapped around what you want your lifestyle to be like, because really what you're paying for when you buy a home is a lifestyle. You're not just paying for the home.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get what's around the home. Like, and I mean, you got to think about things from as simple as how many dogs are in your community, what types of dogs are in your community. If you got kids, how do people park? Do they park in their driveway? Do they park on the street? What do they park on the street? I mean, I've kind of lived in a lot of different settings. I've lived in places where 18 wheelers are parked down the street in your neighborhood.
In your neighborhood,
versus in your neighborhood, and whether or not you have parks, whether or not you live in a high crime area. There's so many questions and factors outside of the actual building that you either want to build or purchase that you need to think about, and you just kind of have to answer a lot of questions about what type of lifestyle you want when you're thinking about a home. Because for us, it was school zone first. We wanted to take our kids out of a private education, because that money just, it pours out, and our kids are young, but we're not, that wasn't a sustainable model for us. So we were like, okay, at some point, we want to move our kids into a public school zone that we feel is going to give Black children resources and opportunities that we just don't see in the hood, right? And we kind of move from a decent area of the city, although it was not one of the best.
Yeah.
And so, but we did know that we never wanted to send our kids, to the schools because of the performance rates of the schools. We wanted to give them a better opportunity. So for us, it was school zone. And then it was really about what we felt was going to give us the home that was enough space for us, but also the home that was wasn't gonna make us house broke. Like, and that's the thing about home shopping, man. You can
So what
you can
is that? You said that term house broke. What is that?
house broke, man. Like where you buy a home that you can of course afford by the numbers, but you end up paying out so much more money per month per mortgage payment than what you really should. And people do this in different ways, right? They do this with cars. They do this, at times with whatever you feel like you need to take out a loan for or put on a payment plan. You don't want to overexert yourself. Like, don't go beyond your limits. And so you need to set yourself boundaries because I'm gonna tell you, you'll go to a realtor and say, and I'm just throwing a number out there. You'll say, hey, I got, $250,000 that I really want to use for a home. She'll be like, okay, you have a down payment. You'll be like, yeah, I'm willing to, and this is just a scenario. I'm willing to put down 10%, right? On a home. When you go shopping, 9 times out of 10, your realtor is going to take that number that you give her and start there.
Yeah.
And so by the time you see the house that you really love, it's probably going to be 325. And if I say modestly speaking, it may be 290, but if you've done your numbers at 250 and you keep pushing it up because your eyes start glistening when you see this feature or you see that little additional add-on to a crib, you'll end up house broke, signing off on something that is your dream home, but in honesty, you're gonna be struggling to afford it.
Gotcha.
So you gotta, in general, just understand more about where you want to live, what you want your environment to be like, and then how much you really want to be putting out per month.
Yo. So like I said earlier about our situation, man, and it's something that I prayed on it a couple of years ago and just really thinking about just different opportunities. And I'm thinking now, all of the things that you said that go into factor into buying a home, right? So both my wife and I, we've always said we didn't really want to be in a like a new subdivision. Like we like houses that have like the old character that we can renovate. Like that's one of our favorite things. We watch a lot of HGTV, and so we're cool with being able to fix up a home and all of that. That's kind of like one of the things that we wanted to do. But I will say one of the unique things, because there may be somebody out there like me that is renting a home and may have an opportunity to purchase the home they're renting. I'll say one thing that's super unique about what you just said, Mo, that I've been living here now going on 5 years. And so, in 5 years, you know the neighborhood, right? So I know, and to be fair, I live in a neighborhood that is, it's a good neighborhood, bro. We have a lot of older people in our neighborhood, which serves us great because we're the youngest people in the neighborhood and we don't have like crazy traffic or anything like that. And, we are fortunate to have good neighbors and left, right, and in front of us. Like, we live on a good street. And it's an older neighborhood all the way around. And so we don't get a lot of issues. There, knock on wood, there haven't been anything significant, or anything crazy that'll happen in this time period. But staying here for that time, you get an opportunity to kind of figure out all the things that you kind of already, like, we've already made a list. Like, we know what we need to work on before there's even a purchase of a home. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's for somebody that's in that may be their situation, I think that's something that you can kind of look at and can draw on and take from, because I guarantee, bro, if we was here for like 4 years and we see like how crazy the neighborhood is, I don't care if you are selling the house. We were like, no, we don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it gives us a unique space and opportunity to kind of go off of what we have going on here and kind of open the door for some different conversations. But I do want to go back on something we said earlier about us not having these conversations enough, right? Like we all graduated from a Georgia public school. So we all pretty much had the same curriculum. And I don't remember taking a real estate class in high school. Did any of y'all take a real estate class in high school? I don't.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not, right? And so all of these things that we're learning in our 30s, while the information has been there, we have to figure out a way to continue and to start having these conversations in our communities. And so why do y'all feel that these conversations are not happening? Like, is this hidden information, or is it just like we're not? Because the only thing that I've ever been taught, and this could just be me, but my parents would just say like, "Oh, y'all need to buy a house," but that was it. There was no like explanation. There was no telling me how to buy a house. There was no information given on what needs to be done. It just stopped at, "Oh man, y'all need to buy a house," and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So how do we start that, and what's the problem of why we're not talking about that in our communities enough? Because we are talking about it, but not enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the reality, man. Like, ownership has never been a prevalent thing in our communities to begin with. Obviously, Black people's history in this country ain't what white people's history in this country is.
Right.
I mean, that's period. But the reality of where we usually start from is so different. You look at an average white American, family, we're not just, I mean, obviously that spectrum is also wide, but I mean, I'm talking about a family that's pretty well off, right? There's probably a property or two or multiples that are already being passed down from generation to generation, where the value of that asset, in a sense, belongs in the family. So you're already starting ahead. Whereas typically in our communities, it's possible for us that we're passing down bad debt. And I said bad debt because there's good debt as well, right? But for us, if either we're passing down bad debt or we just don't have ownership of things that are going to, make a person's value start from a certain space. And so we just don't have the finances or the financial understanding in our communities, because 9 times out of 10, it's just not the reality for us.
A lot of us are breaking generational curses. Like, we're the first.
Literally in these conversations like this, we are the first to do those type of things. From the intricacies, or from the broad stuff, even all the way down to the intricacies, like what type of mortgage, how many years should you take? At what age? Like, should you take a 15? Should you take a 20, a 30? 9 times out of 10, we're looking at, well, how can I get the lowest monthly pay rate that I can get? And we sign off on a 30-year loan, which is low-key slavery, and that's a harsh word for it, but it's just the reality that you get stuck paying for a property. Your interest is so great over all of that time, where you're not thinking about that. If you take a shorter loan, there's less interest that you're gonna be paying on a home. It's a lot of little things, man, that I'm trying to put into words because I'm still learning it. But man, I'm telling you, it's just eye-opening.
And one of the most important things, man, is that credit. Like, And I was blessed to, kind of get a hang of, trying to keep your credit clean and, keeping your score up as much as possible early on. But I'm thinking about, like, it was a couple credit cards I got in college. I got just to get a free T-shirt or
a slice of pizza,
stuff like that, right? Or whatever it was, and years down the road, you thinking like, why did I have all these credit cards for no reason? If you don't get a hold of it, I mean, you can go ahead and blow your credit score right there in college. You graduate from college, even if you thinking about buying a house, you might even have the credit score to even get the house. So man, that's another thing too. Not only the having the conversation about buying a house, but start off with, hey, make sure you get your credit, you have your credit in check, because that credit, they check credit for everything these days. Car insurance and employment status. I mean, they check it on all fronts. So yeah, definitely that too, because that's a conversation people aren't having. And I wonder how it is now. If people are, I mean, I'm sure people are having it more now. But
would you say, like, practical rule number one is don't sign up for credit cards if you go to college?
I mean, I would say, and this is the suggestion somebody gave to me years ago. Like, if you can be disciplined enough, get you one, because you got to start. You got to get your credit somewhere. Get you one, and if you somebody told me, like, get you one. If you don't do nothing but just buy a tie or something inexpensive, and pay the bill. You just keep the bill
right?
rolling, because you want to establish that
Yeah.
credit. And now I know and I'm sure, I don't know how long this has been going on, but you can add your child on your account, your credit account. So, and somehow, I don't know the maybe y'all know, but I don't know. But I've heard how you can add like someone as a user and they can build credit somehow.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. It's
but
certified. I think a certified user or something. But yeah, I know
authorized user.
Authorized user. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Authorized
something
user.
you can add them to your account and they can build their credit. Maybe something, whatever.
Well,
Most
here's the
listeners
trick though,
probably
Corey.
know.
When you said pay the bill, did you mean pay the minimum, or did you mean actually?
Oh, no.
This is
Yeah, that's
important.
a good point. Yeah.
This
Don't
is
do
important.
the minimum. I mean, this is, well, you know something. I would say, because I've had credit long enough. Let's say if you don't have much, let's say if you got like, I don't know, $50 on there. I don't even know what the minimum can be on, but let's say it's $10. If you're not continuing to accrue large amounts, I mean, paying the minimum is not going to hurt, but who does small amounts on credit cards? I mean, so that's the part you're not going to be disciplined. So for most people, no, don't pay the minimum.
Yeah.
Because me, myself personally, like, I have a card that I put everything on as possible because I accrue points on there. But what I do is I pay it off. I don't like rolling the balance because I don't like paying them interest.
Right.
So what I do is I keep it, because I know this is something that I'm going to purchase. Instead of using my debit card for, I'm just going to put it on my credit card, because that not only helping me to build my credit, because I know I'm going to pay the balance off, but I'm also accruing points at the same time. So
that leads to another conversation though, Corey. And so two things. The first thing that you said, Mo, when we was talking about the best way to establish credit, like, so if you're a kid in college, most kids in college are going to come to college now with a cell phone, right? And they probably, if they have some type of responsibility, their mom or dad may have told them like, hey, this is your only bill, pay your cell phone bill, right? So what I would suggest doing, and you got to use your own, this is not any legal advice or anything like that. I forgot we had to put these disclaimers out here now that we have podcasts, but get a credit card and pay your monthly bill on it that you already pay anyway, right? Like, so you already pay your cell phone bill. Use your credit, and we're talking about 18-year-old college students right now. Get the credit card, pay your $100 a month that you pay on your credit on your phone bill, and at the end of the month, pay off that balance. And you're just doing it every month, and you're building credit because you're showing that, like, oh, okay, cool. I would say, yeah, you're showing responsibility, and you're paying something that you would have been paying cash for anyway. The other thing that I want to talk about is what Corey said. Corey gave a gem, and I don't know if everybody heard it, so I'll repeat it. Corey said that he put everything on his credit card because he gets points and he just pays it off. So this brings us to a conversation that I want to talk about called credit card hacking and travel hacking, right? Okay. So my wife and I, we just now starting to get on this. This is something that we knew about, but we didn't really know about in the full scope of, because we just conflicting information. So similar to what I just said about the cell phone bill, all of your monthly expenses. So if you go out and get, let's say you go out and get a Chase Sapphire card or whatever they are. And the key is the sign up bonuses. So like you might have a card that says that, oh, if you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months, we're going to give you 50,000 points, right? 50,000 points might equate to $500 or $750 in travel, whatever it is. The key is you take that same credit card and you got 3,000 points, right? Like your $3,000 that you're going to spend anyway. So you're going to buy gas every week. You're going to buy groceries every week. You're going to have to pay some of your bills, your cell phone bill, maybe some utilities, cable, all of that. Those are bills that's going to be paid every month, no matter what. Put all of those on the credit card, and at the end of the month, pay that off with your cash that's in your bank account. Do that for 3 months, and now you have you've got the bonus. And so now you have a bonus points, and now you take those bonus points, and now your vacation for the year is taken care of because you got the credit card and all the bonus points. So you don't have to worry about like, oh man, I got to save for vacation. Like, no, use that money. And all you did was just spend money that you was going to already spend.
That you was already going to spend.
You was already going to spend, and you use those points as a sign-up bonus. And now you're taking that sign-up bonus and literally taking it to go on vacation. And the other part where we'll have to like really go in super detail is you can keep doing that, bro. Like you can get another card, and then after 3 months is up, and do the exact same thing on this next card and put all of your. And so now, in a year's time, you got 4 credit cards in that year time. And there's some other stipulation that, you know, you'll have to do your research on and go through. And there's some other podcasts that can give you better information than I can. But in a matter of a year, you've had 4 cards, you've rotated all 4 of those cards, you got all the bonuses, and now you got points accumulated for the year to like take 4 trips off of just paying. Yeah, bro.
Hold on,
then you going on a trip. You going on a trip, and you're gonna use that card to put more points on there.
Bingo.
Hold on, bro. Listen, man. This sounds like a dream for so many people,
bro.
But I gotta highlight what
discipline.
Is a necessary. Thank you.
Listen,
yes.
bro.
Oh,
yes,
that's one.
Yes,
that's one
listen,
because it's so easy to do that, and then you hit a bump in the road, right? Whatever that might be. Life happens, and you got $2,000 or $3,000, and something come up. Oh, I really can. I'm gonna catch up next month, and 2 or 3 months rolled around, and now you behind. Now you messed up. Yeah.
If you're not disciplined enough to do what we're talking about, you can't do this. This is for people that are disciplined, that are paying their bills off, and they're only
one month can mess you up.
And this is only for expenses that you pay for monthly. This ain't going out. This ain't going out to your unless you somebody that have your entertainment budgeted, where you spend $500 a month every month on entertainment. I'm talking about things that are constant, that will never change, that you're paying for every month. Your gas, you're gonna always pay for gas. You're gonna always buy groceries. You're gonna always pay your phone bill, your internet bill, utilities. Those are things that are gonna have to be paid for every year, every month. Those are the things that you pay for every month. When you get that bill and you just automatically pay it, you put that on the credit card. Don't y'all go trying to put no going to STK and try to put that on there.
And don't be spending money and credit at the same time. You put everything on credit.
That's what I'm saying.
That money you saving to pay your bill, 100%. Because those interest fees eat you up.
Most people, let's be honest, let's keep it a buck. Most people do not have enough discipline for this. So if you are listening to this and you know that, do not lie to yourself. Like, do not say, oh man, this sounds good, when you know that if you get a credit card, you're going to treat it as money that you don't have to pay for yet. Listen, this ain't for you. Do not use your credit card unless you have the cash available to cover whatever it is that you're purchasing.
Treat it like a charge card, or like a secured card where you put money. Treat it like a prepaid card. So if you can prepay, so if you got like $5,000 to put on that card in cash, treat it like that. Don't treat it like.
And dare I say, if you've got $5,000, don't go above $4,000 on that card.
Yeah.
Because something's gonna happen to your car. You're gonna bust a pipe in your home, or whatever. Some type of situation will pull more funds 100% than you planned for.
Like I said, the disclaimer here: this is for people that are financially. So let me add something else, because you bring up a good point. You already got an emergency savings fund, right? Okay. That's all. You already got that. Your credit card. No. I'm saying, to do what we're talking about doing, you already got an emergency fund, meaning that if something was to happen, you already have reserves put to the side that you can go and tap into those reserves and take care of a busted pipe at home, a car, transmission go out in your car, tire flat. You already have those emergency savings put to the side.
So let me say this before you move on. So from what I've learned, emergency fund, you really want to shoot for 6 months of monthly expenses.
100%.
Okay.
If you can't do 6 months, try to at least do 3. So if you're out of your job, you can at least maintain for 3 to 6 months, and hopefully within 3 to 6 months you're back on your feet.
Yeah.
All of your expenses,
but
not just food.
Right.
Yeah,
Everything.
Your rent,
Everything.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if at over 6 months, if you can build, I mean, my recommendation, if you can build for longer than 6 months, hey, go for it. But at a minimum, 3 to on the low end.
Yeah,
but
3
you
to
really
6
want
months.
to try to target. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, and we're not financial advisors, but we're people that have been through it and can tell
Life
you
experience.
life experience and made the mistakes and tell you that these are ways to play the game if you're financially responsible enough to play the game. Like, it's not, because when you think about it, right? Okay, we can be real quick, and then we have to go to Patreon. But like, bro, we put money in the bank. They make money off of our money. We make no money off of our money. We spend our money. And then when we spend it, it's gone. And so when you really think about those things, it makes more sense to get points off of your money. Like, why spend my money when I can spend your money, but I'm financially responsible enough to pay you back your money in time and not get charged more for it? You know what I'm saying? I know that's a lot, but that's the game, bro. Like, that's really the financial services game. Like, the bank literally would take, you got 10 grand right now, go and put 10 grand in the bank. I guarantee if you go there next week and say, I want to pull 10 grand out, they're going to tell you got to wait a week to get your 10 grand that you just put in the bank. I just put that 10 grand in the bank on Monday. I want to pull it out on Friday. They're going to tell me, man, you're going to have to wait Tuesday to come get that 10 grand out. We can give you 3 right now, and then you can pick up the other 7 next week. Why? Because they are investing your money. While when you gave it to them, they're investing your money to make money off of your money. That's the game, bro. So why not flip that and learn how to make money off of their money? And the way to do that is credit card hacking.
We dropped like a million gems in a lot of different directions. We're gonna have to do this again, and we're gonna have to answer your first question, because we threw some gems out here about how to buy your first home, right? And Corey talked about kind of what you want to look for in a realtor, what you want to look for in terms of searching for your home, the interest rates, shopping between banks versus preferred lenders. I told you about looking for the area, like making decisions about what type of lifestyle you want, which I'm gonna give you a tool. If you go to greatschools.org, if you got a family, if you're considering like kids, or even if you just want to know the information, like what school zone should I move in that a family would want to live in, that's really nice. Greatschools.org. You can literally type in the city, the zip code, tell you everything you need to know. And then we even, kind of drop some gems about credit, how to build it, how to maintain it, when you should not try to go the route of using credit cards, because some of you should not. And you have to be honest with yourself about that. You're not ready yet. You can get there. But you got to do some practical things before that. But man,
I got the.
Hey, let me add something. Let me add something else too. One other thing too with the home buying process is you want to make sure you got the cash on hand for the down payment. I know there are a lot of programs and stuff, but make sure you read the fine print on those programs, because some of them, like, you got to be in the house so many years before you can sell it, or whatever. But having the money for down payment is very important too, because you're going to have expenses that come up, and when it's time to close, you want to make sure you have that cash on hand to be ready, so it won't be any delays there.
Yeah, you may even qualify for a better interest rate with having the cash on hand. So
that's solid. That's solid. All right, so before we jump over to Patreon, I do got our Ask a Black Man question. This is interesting. I want to hear what Corey answered yes to this one. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
I stopped counting, to be honest.
What's a ballpark, bro? Ballpark.
Couple hundred.
Golly.
And to be honest, as I learn more about people and, their hobbies, and especially when it comes to like, something like shoes, yeah, they make my stuff look like it's people really are out there that's, that's not just a closet, but a whole room
So do you have a shoe room in the
dedicated.
crib? Did you get
Oh no, I don't have that many to have a shoe room. That's why I say I think I feel like I'm on a low end to some people out there.
I was like,
but
not on this podcast.
But
Right.
this
Right.
but this is the thing though. I mean, some people like, some people collect, I don't know, guns, or they collect I mean, I don't know.
I got vinyl right here behind me. I got a lot of vinyl, so I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's yeah.
It's not a personal attack, bro.
No,
good,
it's fine. Hey, it's fine. I got good credit, so I ain't really worried. I'm not.
Oh, look at the stud. Look at the stud.
I've been irresponsible.
There you go.
No, I'm just saying, it's never a time I've been irresponsible or said, man, should I get these shoes, or should I buy some food, or should I buy some gas, or pay this bill? No, it's never that.
I got you. What about you, Mo?
I just want to see if I can hold at least 10 pair, like, for about 6 months, and I'll bring them back. You know what I'm saying? Corey ain't say nothing.
He ain't saying that. He quiet on it.
I thought you was. I didn't. Yeah, my bad.
Nah, man, I might have.
I don't know, man. I may have to leave you in my will somewhere, man.
Dog, do that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Bro, let me think. It can't be over 20.
No.
All together, dress shoes, because you got those with them Chelsea boots and them.
Yeah, man. No, seriously,
that's all. That you know what I'm saying, that's all together, like dress shoes.
I'm a pretty simple, guy.
You get rid of shoes. You get rid of shoes.
I get rid of shoes. I might buy, a few quality, like high quality pair, and just kind of ride them out for the time I need to ride them out, and then I'll refresh at some point. I'm not really a collector type, but
I got you.
I like to switch the trend up every now and then. But I don't own a lot of shoes.
Yeah. I'm last time I counted, I was at like 90 something, but I've got rid of quite a few. So I think I'm somewhere between like 70 and maybe 75, I would think. Somewhere between 65 and 75. Because I never hit the 100 mark, but it kind of scared me when I'm almost at 100. Let me get, and then I went to purging, because I went through a phase, like, of course, at one point in time, I worked at a shoe store. And I mean, I bought so many shoes from that shoe store at the time period. It was just crazy. But, I slowed down over time, but it's nothing better, man, than going to get a pair of new shoes, bro. Like, it's just something about it. I can't explain it. Maybe it's just like the era that we grew up in. But, bro, nothing compares to like getting a fresh pair, open up the box, bro. It's something about it, man. I don't know what it is, bro, but it's something about it. And as Corey said, my credit good too, so I don't feel bad about how many shoes I have. So I'm good to go.
Hey, take care of the responsibility first.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. Well, look, man, hey, appreciate that question too. That was pretty good, but that was a way to wrap up what we're talking about today. But hop over on Patreon, man. I don't know what we're gonna talk about on Patreon, but I don't know. We'll have fun. We'll come up with a topic and talk about it. But look, thank you. Oh, and thank you for our. We had one person subscribe to our Patreon last week, so I'm gonna shout them out. If you want more shout outs, we need y'all to subscribe. But we had one person last week, so we didn't. It's Hawthorne Vincent. I'm sure it's probably Vincent Hawthorne, but shout out to you, our new patron on Patreon. So look,
welcome aboard, Vincent.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We told you we'll make sure we shout you out on the pod. So thank you for joining our Patreon and becoming a fan. So we really rock with y'all for sure. So hey man, other than that, we appreciate y'all for checking in with Black Man Think podcast. We got some important and very cool things to announce coming up in a couple of months that we ain't gonna tell y'all just yet. So until then, we'll see y'all next week.
The Black Men Think podcast.